Hey there, welcome to this wonderful new year where a lot of wonderful new things are going to happen, and we're all going to feel a lot of interesting new things. That's what happens every year. That's what happens every day. That's what happens every moment. We all just feel a lot of really interesting new things. And indeed, every moment is a brand new thing that we get to feel, we get to experience. And a lot of times it seems like every single one of those moments is compiling together to form a lot of other moments. It seems like all those moments compile together to form all these other moments. And it seems like all those moments compiled together form a whole litany of experiences. And when we really dial it back, we get to see that indeed every single one of those experiences is just individual little moments. And every single one of those individual little moments is just more individual little moments. And so when we start to really focus in on every single one of those little moments, we can really understand what it is that we are indeed experiencing in every moment. And one of the great things about meditation is that we get to explore the various facets of those moments. Every single one of those moments gets to be put under a bright light of intention. And we get to see what is actually happening inside each one of those individual moments. And a lot of times, what's happening inside each one of those individual moments is not what we see when all those moments come together. And so it's really interesting to see each one of those moments as a brand new experience, as a brand new way of viewing our daily, moment to moment lives. It's just a series of moments. That's all life is. Just a big series of moments. And meditation is a lot of, well, meditation is a lot of things. Meditation in the context of spirituality, meditation in the context of trying to advance your mental cognizance and your mental acuity and your mental agility. Meditation put into those contexts is really an examination of whatever these momentary experiences will produce. And a lot of times the reason that these momentary experiences produce such results can be seen when we put the focus of meditation on the individual moments, whatever those moments may be. So what we're going to do here for the next 365 days is we are going to commit ourselves, and I am going to commit myself to seeing each one of those moments as it arises in the experience that we have. And commitment is a very important thing, because without that commitment, you are not going to be able to take in the fullness of the experience. That commitment is necessary to transform the practice and also your entire mindset. The mindset of commitment is a very important thing, because that mindset will continue to develop and it will continue to deepen. And once that deepening effect builds some kind of momentum, it'll compound. And the benefits of focus, and the benefits of clarity, and the benefits of inner peace, and the benefits of mental well-being will start to compound as well. And then we can start to really see meditation as, not just some occasional or sporadic activity that, might have some temporary relief effects, but it can actually start to become a deep, lasting change maker in our lives. It's a really powerful way of making sure that the change that can come will come with a certain kind of gravitas to it. There's a certain kind of oomph that only by getting into the root of the mind and the root of thought and the root of everyday moment-to-moment experience, that we can actually start to develop the kinds of qualities that we know we're capable of. And we can be very intentional about those qualities and developing those qualities. Now, of course, there are challenges to this, and it's very possible you've tried to meditate before and couldn't end up committing, in that there was some obstacle or some challenge that was unable to be overcome. A lot of maybe time management, busy schedules, or hectic lifestyles. A lot of motivation sometimes. If it feels like progress isn't happening as fast as we feel like it should, a lot of times that will turn into this kind of self-fulfilling prophecy of not being able to do something that we know will be good for us. And accountability too, not having anybody to talk with, not having any kind of support system is is a one-way ticket to being alone and feeling like you're not able to connect with anybody, having nobody that understands you. And maybe you don't have anybody to talk to in your life about meditation, or it seems like some far away woo-woo concept, and everybody is like judging you about meditating. Having that accountability, having that connection, having that community is a really important thing. It's a really important thing to making sure that that commitment stays strong and you can overcome these challenges. And there's so much benefit to staying committed with this practice. I mean, mental clarity. I mean, the data of meditating and mindfulness and various contemplative practices. There's so much data and so many anecdotal stories of people who have grown emotionally and better focus and better sleep and blah 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 blah. So many different things, and physical health even. Physical benefits like reduced cortisol levels, better sleeping patterns and things. So there's a lot of benefits, obviously, to the practice of meditation, but all of these benefits can only come after a very strong commitment and a very strong discipline to make sure that we actually do the practice. Because it's one thing to say, oh yeah, I meditate. I meditate all the time. But like to actually be like, okay, I meditate every day. I make sure I do that. I do that first thing in the morning. That's the thing I do. I make sure that that happens. And if that doesn't happen, then I'm not really committed. I'm sort of like half in, half out. And it doesn't bode well to having the intention to have those desirable effects, to have those lasting moments of change, to have that better emotional well-being, that better quality of life. Like if you want those things, then you got to put in the work. It's like going to the gym. If you want to have muscles and grow muscles, you have to work it out. You have to work out the muscles, and you have to feed the muscles with right nutrition. But like if you sit on the couch and eat potato chips, while it might feel really good, on a moment to moment level, on the long term, you're not going to get muscles. You're going to feel terrible, and you're not going to build up those qualities in the way that you want to. And meditation is just like that. Meditation is mental working out. It's going to the mind gym. And so you just need to put in the work, and you put in the work, you put in the work, you put in the work every day. You show up every day, even if it feels really challenging to show up every day. And it feels like you don't want to do it. And it feels like there's just like so many other things you could do. And I feel that way all the time. I feel that way. I felt that way right now, just coming into this stream. I feel this way every day when I go to meditate. And, a lot of it is fear. A lot of it is it's just the inability to see how showing up will compound. And, I have this idea, I'd just rather do something else. It's not a very productive thing to do. Or, I have this other thing that takes priority for whatever reason. But if you value those qualities that you get from meditation, you value that clarity, you value that emotional well-being, and you value that ability to make lasting, profound change in your life, then really there's no alternative. You have to show up. You have to do the practice. And you can start small. You can be a few minutes a day. It can be, you wake up and you lie in bed and you meditate for a couple minutes before you get up. That's okay. That's a great place to start. If you want to get up and you want to walk around for a little bit and then you want to go and sit down and meditate for 5 minutes, that's great too. A few minutes a day, build it gradually. It's just like, again, it's just like working out, where if you start to increase the time, or increase, like when you're at the gym, you take weight and you start working out the muscle, and then the next week you take a little more weight, and then the next week you take a little more weight. It's the same with meditation. Maybe you start with a few minutes a day. In 2 weeks you start 10 minutes a day. In a month later, maybe you can do 15 minutes a day. So you just build it gradually. And really, the only key here is consistency. You just do it every day. You set a time, you do it every day. You make sure that you show up. You reassure yourself that you're going to show up, even imperfectly. If you're sitting there and it's like, this is terrible, everything feels terrible, you still do it, because that's the practice. That's what it is. That's what meditation is. It's just showing up. That's what life is. You still show up, even if you're doing it imperfectly. The fact that you showed up and you're being consistent with it, that's what matters. It's consistency over perfection. So what we're going to do here for the next 365 days is we're going to make sure that we are consistent with the practice. We're going to make sure that we are committed to our growth. And we are going to build a meditation habit that provides lasting change. So with that, let's do a quick 10-minute meditation or so. So just a quick note on meditation postures. You can sit down, you can lie down. Doesn't matter. When you lie down, you need to be aware that it's very possible that you could fall asleep. So if you're falling asleep, you're not meditating. So if you have a propensity to fall asleep, then it's best to sit up, or you could even stand up. So find your posture, whatever that posture may be. It can just be literally sitting in a chair. You can sit cross-legged on the floor if you'd like, or you can lie down. It doesn't really matter. But let's find our posture. So I'm going to sit here. I'm sitting down here. And let's find a comfortable position for our eyes to be in. They can be open or closed. Doesn't really matter. Whatever feels natural for you. And let's go ahead and just feel the way that our body is feeling right now. So the body is feeling something. So maybe it's stressed or tight or anxious. Maybe we're worried about something. Maybe we're feeling some kind of an emotion in the body. Or maybe we're just feeling distracted somehow, and we can't really focus on our body. Whatever it is. Maybe there's some tension somewhere. Maybe it feels light and airy, whatever it feels. There's some feeling there. And if you're having trouble feeling the body, you can always feel the sensation that hits your skin. Maybe you're wearing clothing, or you have a blanket, or even just the air that hits your skin. There's some kind of sensation on the body. Some kind of sensation that the body feels. There's probably many sensations. There are many sensations. So if you can find any of those sensations and really focus in on the most predominant sensation, put all of your attention there. Find one sensation. Focus all of your attention on that one sensation. And as you focus on that one sensation, try to find if there are any other smaller sensations inside that main sensation. Try to break up that one sensation into smaller sensations. Feel what those sensations feel like. And recognize that those smaller sensations are made up of even smaller sensations. So it's just a lot of smaller sensations that are happening every moment. Whatever those sensations are, try to see them each in each moment. Try to see each sensation as it arises into your awareness, moment by moment. You can break it up even more. Try to find each individual component of that sensation. Try to find each individual component of time, each individual moment where that sensation happens. Feel into that. Feel into it fully and deeply. Feel into each individual moment fully and deeply. Feel each individual sensation fully and deeply as it arises in each moment, each individual component of time, each individual component of sensation. Feel it as it arises. Feel it as it falls away. We can come back into our body and come back into the room. Come back into this time where each one of those moments compounds with another moment, compiles into an experience. We can come into this experience, can come back to this experience. We can be here. So thank you all for joining me on this journey. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Happy New Year.